This is the story of a young girl named Wilma. Wilma lived for the entirety of her young life with her grandmother in a small cottage on the edge of a wood. One day, Wilma's grandmother, being a very old woman, died, and Wilma was left alone in the cottage. This, of course, made Wilma very sad, and to make herself feel better, Wilma often talked to her grandmother's urn as if the old woman was still alive. One afternoon, Wilma was tending the animals and talking.
Grandmother, I sure do miss you. I think I would do anything to have you back.
Just then, one of the goats, who was happily munching on a bit of grass, piped up and said,
"Anything, you say?"
This startled Wilma, and she nearly fell over.
You there, goat. Did you just speak to me?
Indeed I did, my dear. I can do all sorts of things. Am I a magical goat? Perhaps simply a sad figment of your young imagination. Do I exist at all? Melancholy and heartbreak, I do exist, for I am he who grants your wishes. I am he who can do all things on this earth, and even a few beyond. What is the password to my realm? Deception, despair, denial. My dear, I am the devil, and I am at your service.
The devil himself. Poor Wilma was terrified.
What do you want with me?
Oh, nothing, my dear, nothing at all. I simply thought I might be able to help you, for you have lost your precious grandmother, and I can return her to you.
And thus the trap was set. The devil, you see, does not wield his powers from mere generosity. The devil must always be paid, and the devil always wants but one thing. He is a sporting chap, though, as you may have heard in stories. He likes to wager and make his poor victims feel they have a chance to save themselves from his clutches. But alas, the devil is, well, the devil.
I will tell you what, my dear, I propose a game. I saw you through the window dancing with your broomstick. We shall have a dance. If you are the better dancer, then I shall return your grandmother to you and be on my way.
And if you win?
Then I win. What say you, girl?
Wilma was a good girl. She was tidy and well-mannered, did as she was told, and was making life enough for herself alone. But she missed her grandmother more than anything, and so, against her better judgment, she said,
I will dance with you, devil, on one condition.
Name it, girl.
I should like to choose the judge for our competition.
Agreed. But I must also be able to refuse your choice.
Wilma thought a moment. She would choose kind and gentle animals from the forest as judges. Surely they would see her plight for what it was and take pity on her. And so the two entered the forest to find their judges. They first came upon a squirrel. Wilma knew this squirrel, as he was fond of sitting in Wilma's garden and nibbling on the vegetables.
I would like this squirrel to be our judge,
she said, quite confident in her decision.
Oh, no. Oh, silly girl. Squirrels, you see, are awful dancers. Their tails get all tangled up in their feet. He could never properly judge our contest. I believe I'll refuse this choice.
And the devil opened up his goat mouth and ate the squirrel right in front of poor Wilma. Now she realized the gravity of her situation and resolved to find a better judge.
What about this friendly duck?
Ah, a duck. No, dear, ducks are terrible dancers as well. With the squawking and the webbed feet and the feathers everywhere, what a mess they make. He'd be a terrible judge.
And the devil again opened his goat mouth and swallowed the duck. Now Wilma was truly terrified. The devil would never let her choose a judge that would help her, and she began to despair as she watched the devil eat a frog, an owl, a dog, and even a horse. Then Wilma noticed that all the poor rejected animals that the devil had eaten were making him fatter and fatter. In fact, the goat was beginning to swell up. Wilma had an idea. She suggested more and more animals to judge their contest, and the devil ate them all in turn until the clever girl could find only one animal left in the forest.
I suppose we must have the snake as our judge.
Ah, a snake. Now there is a good dancing judge. Such grace, such beauty. Yes, a snake shall judge us. Let the dance begin!
And the music began. Wilma danced around the forest with ease. She was, in fact, a very good dancer. Even the devil was surprised at how comfortably she moved. Did she not realize her impending doom? Did she not realize she danced against the devil himself?
Well, that is my dance. Thank you for judging us, Mr. Snake.
Ha ha! That is your dance. Well, it was fine, my dear, but let me show you how it's done.
The devil had gotten so fat that he was, in fact, a terrible dancer. He could barely move, in fact.
There. Now that's dancing. What say you, Snake? Which of us is the better dancer?
Well, devil, you are all-powerful, and I have always been on your side in the past. But my old friend, your dancing is awful. You are too fat. The girl wins.
The devil was furious. He opened his goat mouth once again and forced the truthful snake into his belly.
Fine, girl, you've beaten the devil. But count yourself among a lucky few, for one day soon you...